Yeah, so much to watch tonight, and folks all over the valley, I think all over the nation, have been circling this game on the calendar since the schedule came out. A high-powered offense, a really good defense that hasn't allowed a point. Something's got to give tonight. To put it lightly, Adam, this is something that the state of Arizona really showcases how good high school football is here.
Both of these teams are ready for a great game, a great competition. You know, they've had a couple of teasers earlier in the season to try and get their feet wet, but now is when it really starts to jump up. Two football coaches that know how to win, know how to coach up their teams, and I think everything has been said already, Mark. I'm ready to watch this game begin.
You saw Bernie Buskin of the Basha Bears led Mountain View to 3 state titles in the 90s. There's Sean Aguano in his first year. Played his college ball at Linfield in McMinnville, Oregon, but originally from Hawaii. Preaches to his team, Makoa, no fear, no doubt of being great in Ohana. Family. And his kickoff team will take the field and kick it away to the Basha Bears. There's Nate Phillips deep, along with Devin Reed for Basha, two very dangerous return men. Chandler has had its kicking problems throughout the years, one of the many things that they need to clean up, and they have a young man with a big leg in Isaac Bracamontes who can put the ball in the end zone. Crowd comes to its feet, and some of them were in the stadium before 5 o'clock. It's 7:08 local time in Arizona, and we're underway in the national game of the week. It will be Nate Phillips from his own 5. He's out past the 20, and here goes Nate Phillips. One man to beat at the 40. He's hit hard and falls forward to the 45-yard line. A return of 40 yards to start things out for Bernie Buskin's Basha Bears. And Nate Phillips, we talked about him in the open, he's electric.
What a great start for the Bears football team. Unbelievable blocking by the kickoff return team. And Nate Phillips out there running smooth, gets him up to about midfield. Mark, a position this Chandler Wolves defense is not used to being in yet this year.
5 wide receivers for the Bears to start things out. They huddle on the sideline and won't huddle again while on the field. That's Kyle Duran under center. Bit of a high snap, some pressure on the shovel pass, and here goes Phillips again. He fell down, still on his feet past midfield, and he's into Chandler territory. You take a look at Kyle Duran right there, the trigger man, second year starting, 70% completion rate. Almost thrown for 1,000 yards, and we're only through 3 games and 1 play into the 4th. A pistol look right here in motion. Again, 4 wide receivers as Duran checks his wristband. Out of the shotgun, fires across the middle, in and out of the hands of Phillips, and it's incomplete. Let's take a look at the starting offense delivered by the UPS store. We talked about Nate Phillips in the open, but got to protect the quarterback and own the line of scrimmage. Evan Sarver's getting looked at by everybody. Drew Mahooty, they say he squats more than most people benches. Also, J.J. Hussar, the running back, 7 touchdowns. We'll talk about him tonight. Maybe right here on a 3rd down, they hand it to Hussar, and he has the first down and much more, dragged down at the 35. But not before Basha rolls up more yards on the ground. Richard Winston with the stop. But Basha off and rolling.
Little draw play. Great moves by Miles Smith to make the linebacker miss and get upfield for the first down.
Playing fast again for the Bears, who try to snap the ball with 20 seconds on the clock. Duran back to throw. He's going to the end zone. Got a man down there, but he overshoots Nate Phillips, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Let's take a look at that starting defense by Chandler up front. And again, they haven't allowed a point this season. Winston and Jangy are the bookends. They're good, and again, getting looked at by everybody. The linebackers, they like to roam, starting with Francis, Tuita, Tyler Holmes, and Ryan Napnick. DJ Frazier, and that's Devin Centers, number 37, the son of Larry Centers, former Arizona Cardinal. They fake the pitch, and they hand it to Phillips inside, and Phillips is a one-man wrecking crew right now for Basha as he picks up another first down for the Bears. LaRon Tarkington on the stop for Chandler.
Misdirection play. They're going to fake the toss right, and Phillips is going to counter step and come across to the left. There is nobody on the right side of that Chandler Wolves defense. They have to do a better job of play recognition.
So first down and 10 now. from about the 20, firing to his right, and Phillips can't hang on. He's been a busy man so far on this first drive, Adam.
It's obvious they want to try and get the ball into his hands. He has already made a couple of plays tonight. This offense is not just about Phillips, however. They have a lot of different receivers that can get the job done. Keenan Garland, Will Dungy, Adrian Cordova. They've got a pretty good running back in J.J. Huser as well.
Phillips stays in the ball game on a 2nd down and 10, and Duran is flushed to his right. He's going to fire. He's got a man, and an unbelievable catch made right there by Adrian Cordova, but did he stay in bounds? Cordova slow getting up. They'll get him out of the ball game.
Well, that was a heck of an effort. Great job by Duran of buying time and puts the ball right on the sideline. Cordova almost comes down with the catch, but great effort by the young wide receiver.
So Cordova comes out of the ball game. They stay with the 4 wide receiver look and hand it off to Hussar, and here goes Hussar, but he is wrapped up back at the 12. Kisma Jangi got him, along with number 55, Dominic Nappy, and a penalty flag comes in late. And not a whole lot of time to talk here, Adam, so far with as fast as Basha has been playing.
They've been efficient. They've gone up to the line of scrimmage, called the play, snapped the football, and they've really moved the ball well on this vaunted Chandler defense.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half the distance to the goal. Measurement results in a first down.
So Basha has marched right down the field on the opening possession after a 40-yard return by Nate Phillips on the opening kickoff. The penalty right there, the first on the night. And some Basha folks start to come to their feet over here on the home side. New running back is checked in the game, and they will hand it to him. It's Miles Smith, and Smith, already 2 touchdowns on the season, almost had a 3rd, but he's down at the 1.
There's a lot of holes right now in Chandler's defense, right between the guard and center. A couple times now. Good job on the cutback, reading the blockers, and falling upfield.
Well, as we're in the replay, a touchdown for Basha on a sneak, and the Bears strike first in this matchup of the 2nd and 3rd ranked teams in the state of Arizona. Let's take a look at that touchdown.
Well, this is just a quarterback sneak by your quarterback, Kyle Duran. Great surge by the offensive line, and he just goes right in head first. What an impressive first drive by this Basha offense to get the ball right around midfield and not have a hiccup as they go down in field and draw first blood.
Justin Barber on to attempt the extra point, up, and it's good, and it's 7-0. 9:49 remaining. Basha gets the ball first and goes right down the field. Chandler to work on offense. 7-0 Basha, first quarter here on the National High School Football Game of the Week. There's a look at Kyle Duran and also Nate Phillips. Moved the Bears right down the field on the opening possession. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. They went 56 yards. Of course, it started with the Phillips return to open the game. But Basha is off and rolling, and now the Chandler defense has been scored upon for the first time this season, Adam.
Not a place that they're used to being. They were completely caught off guard and were on their heels the entire drive. The Basha offense completely stuck it to the Chandler defense. Ran right through the middle, completed passes. Very efficient drive, and Coach Bernie Buskin should be very, very happy with how that started.
Ricky Carrillo to kick it off. Lloyd Mills is back deep to receive for Chandler. He's very dangerous. Thinking about playing his college football at San Diego State. They're going to keep it away from Mills, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. As running back Paul Perkins was over there, but couldn't make the play. Kind of a squib kick, and kept it out of the hands of the dangerous return man.
It's probably a good idea because they just captured a lot of momentum with that first drive, and now they don't want Chandler to come out with a big special teams play on their own. So now they're going to make him go the distance and keep him on their end of the field.
There's Daryl Garrettson, a junior, making just his 4th start. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, 65% through the air. Takes over for Brett Hundley, who's now at UCLA. And filling in just fine, his team has put up 150 points in 3 weeks. Out of the shotgun 2 go the Wolves. They'll hand it off to Perkins, and Perkins makes a move. He's out close to the 25. And let's take a look at that Chandler offense delivered by the UPS store. Up front, we'll take a look at that in a second with the backs to receivers. Perkins, Tarkington, keep an eye on Javon Williams. He's 6'5". We'll throw some jump balls to him. The tight end, Valdenegro, and Lloyd Mills, the dangerous return man. Zach Himela, who plays college football at Arizona. Shank, Lopez, McClure, and Smith round out that offensive line. On a 2nd down and 5 now, that is Williams in motion with 2 running backs and a penalty flag as someone appeared to jump early.
False start. Offense, 5 yards, 2nd down.
Our official tonight, Bob Sietsema. 2nd penalty and a 2nd costly penalty for Chandler, who's trying to really match the energy of Basha, who came storming out of the gates. So Tarkington and Perkins are in the backfield. Williams is the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Make that your slot guy. He was in motion. They're going to look up top for Williams. Jump ball. He's got Reed on him. One-on-one, and Reed can't make the play. The 2 old friends that Jody Jackson was talking about at the top of the telecast.
Well, the Wolves put Javon Williams in the backfield to try and create a matchup problem. And this is what they got. They got their big wide receiver on the shorter Devin Reed, but an underthrown ball. And all of a sudden, Javon Williams has to play defense. Good job of letting your offense live to play another down, but that ball has to be put up high where a tall wide receiver like Williams can go up and get it.
Reed stays on Williams. He's at the top of your screen. We'll watch that matchup all night. On a 3rd down and 10, they'll give it to the running back, Perkins, and Perkins makes a move trying to get to the sticks, and did he get there? I would imagine we're going to have to bring out the chains as Paul Perkins shows some serious desire right there.
Great job by Paul Perkins. Basha, they got what they wanted. Garrettson threw the check down to Perkins, and it's just making an easy tackle. But Perkins showing some nifty moves and the determination to get to that 1st down yard marker.
Perkins will stay in the game. An impressive run right there, and really what Chandler needed after absorbing a blow and allowing the first points on the season. They'll give it to Perkins again, and he's going right up the middle, and here goes Paul Perkins, makes a cut past midfield, and he's into Basha territory. Stop made by Boston Whitlow, gain of 25.
Little counter play. Go ahead and run it. You're not going to be able to see the offensive line, but watch the block by number 76 to really spring Perkins. Good job blocking up front to make that hole for your running back.
Tyler McClure on the block for Chandler, and a fresh set of downs. They'll bring Tarkington in motion. It's blitz now for Basha. They'll give it to Perkins once again. He bounces it to the outside, and Perkins has another 1st down for Chandler, who is now getting things rolling itself.
I like what Paul Perkins is doing right now. His running style is really tough. He's really seeing the blockers. He's seeing defenders. That time he sticks a move inside, breaks contain of the Bears defense, and outruns them to get the 1st down. A really nice job of Paul Perkins getting it done on the ground.
Jackson Caldwell has checked in the game at a wide receiver. They put LaRon Tarkington in at running back to give Perkins a down off. Garrettson is going to throw to his right. He was looking for Lloyd Mills, and it was too tall for the 5'10 senior Mills, 165 pounds. Let's take a look at that Basha defense delivered by the UPS store. Fues, Benitez, and Burns, the starters, but they play 3 plays and they're out. They like to keep them fresh. Does Bernie Buskin, Whitlow, Kaiser, Tamarkin, the team's leading tackler, and then Brock Davis, Del Rey, a running back a year ago, Crum, the hard-hitting safety, and Reed, who's matched up most of the time on Javon Williams. But Williams actually not in the game right now. And Reed's at the bottom of your screen. There is Williams. He's in motion, coming out of the backfield. They tried to hide him, looking for him. And he's got a 1st down, and he's out of bounds inside the 20. I didn't see him, and he's 6'5".
Well, that's what Chandler's offense was hoping would happen. to the Basha defense. Teams like to hide wide receivers in the backfield because now it forces your corners to go outside and guard somebody else, and hopefully you get a matchup on a linebacker or a safety. Chandler got the matchup that they wanted right there, and they converted.
Check Williams this time. He's at the bottom of your screen. Caldwell stays in the game. They're going to hand it off. And it's going to go to LaRon Tarkington. Stop made by Blake Tamarkin. And more positive yards for Chandler, who's taking a page out of the Basha Bears playbook right now and running the hurry up.
It's a great drive. Classic Chandler Wolves offense, but doing a good job, just as Basha was doing on the ground. Chandler has a nice little 1-2 punch between Paul Perkins and LaRon Tarkington.
On a 2nd down and 6 from call at the 15-yard line. 7 minutes to play first quarter. Garrettson looking for the end zone, looking for Williams, and it's batted down by Reed. Dalton Crum also over there on coverage for the Bears.
Twice now they try to get the ball to Javon Williams, and Devin Reed is in coverage. Williams really had an angle to the end zone, but for the 2nd time tonight, the quarterback, Darrell Garrettson, underthrows it. That is a ball that if you get it up high enough with a wide receiver like Javon Williams, he comes down with it. You underthrow it, and now you let a cornerback who stands only 5'9" able to get his hands on the football.
Ball on the 13. 10th play of the drive, a 3rd and 6 for Garrettson and the Chandler Wolves. They'll fake the handoff. Garrettson rolling. He's going to toss back to his right. He's got Tarkington. Tarkington makes a move, a 1st down, and he's down to about the 2. Sets up a 1st and goal for the Wolves of Chandler.
Well, this is a great play by Chandler's offense, and it really puts the defense in a bind. They're going to roll everybody out, and Tarkington is just going to slide out here and wait. The entire defense pursues to the right, and then Garrettson, all he does is sit there and flip the ball to Tarkington. He's wide open. Great job, great play design, and great execution.
They bring in Tyler Holmes, a linebacker, to play fullback. Perkins is the running back out of the eye. Garrettson under center, gives it to Perkins. He puts his head down. He's in the end zone. And the Wolves answer right back.
Paul Perkins is a man on a mission. Watch him put a move on defensive tackle Justin Burns right there to sidestep him and get into the end zone. On almost every run, every time Paul Perkins has touched the ball tonight, he has made 1 or 2 defenders miss. Great job of coming in ready to play.
13 carries for... It's up and it's good on the extra point, and Paul Perkins, a little bit of everything here on the first drive, caps it off with a touchdown. We're tied at 7.
All tied at 7 here at Basha, where the Chandler Wolves have responded to Basha's prolific offense. And running back Paul Perkins, a special player. I was talking to Darren Rathbun, linebackers coach for the Basha Bears. He said, we have not faced a team like Chandler, and we certainly have not faced a running back like Perkins. He's a guy that has shown that he can make people miss. Certainly a challenge for these linebackers tonight. Guys, another matchup to watch.
Yeah, no kidding, Jody. Is 54 yards of total offense on that drive by Perkins. 11 plays, 80 yards. It took 3 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock. And Basha gets the ball back, and here we go. We just caught our breath, Adam, in the commercial break.
If this was a boxing match, both of these teams would be spent by the time the 2nd round came along. They are exchanging jabs and right hooks. Very fun game to watch.
Well, and they got through their first 3 games unscathed, and I think we knew the Chandler defense was going to be scored on at some point this season. But Basha really made it look easy on the first drive.
They did. They've been averaging 57 points a game. Now, of course, the competition hasn't been a Chandler Wolves caliber competition, but these things are going to happen. When good teams play, both teams or players from both sides of the balls are going to go out there and make plays, and that's exactly what we've seen happen so far tonight.
So the penalty moves back Chandler and Isaac Bracamontes, 35-yard line, so Reeder Phillips should get a chance here to return the kick, and If you were with us as we came on the air, you remember Phillips taking back the opening kick 40 yards and setting up Basha in prime field position. He'll kick it to Reed this time, who will take it on a hop at the 10. He's out past the 20 and swarmed at the 28-yard line. 20 yards on the return for Devin Reed, who's a corner, but you'll see him on offense a little bit too. I would imagine Bernie Buskin probably going to try to keep him fresh, matched up with Williams all night for Chandler.
They want to keep him on defense, and so far he is 2-0 on balls thrown to Javon Williams.
So a first down and 10 from, call it, the 29-yard line. 4 wide receivers in the game. Smith is your running back. They'll fake it to him across the middle. And it was coming in hot from Phillips, who couldn't hold it. And I think that got on the Chandler secondary pretty quick as well.
That was a lot of sizzle from your quarterback right there, Kyle Durant. They went with the old school. First play you install in Pop Warner. The pop pass where you fake the dive, sit up, and hit the wide receiver. That time it was too much.
On a second down and 10. Durant all day, puts it up across the middle. He's got Phillips deep in the Chandler secondary, and he's down to the Wolf 20. He beat LaRon Tarkington. Gain of 51 on the play.
Big time play again for Phillips. Watch him in here. He's just going to go up there. This is all about protection. Kyle Durant had all night to throw the ball. LaRon Tarkington was one-on-one on Phillips and had no help in the middle of the field. Wow. Nate Phillips is tough to cover in space. They
give it to Smith, who bounces it outside of the left, trying to turn the corner. Finally hauled down by number 37 for the Wolves, Devin Centers. That's Larry Centers' son, the former Arizona Cardinal. Looks like another face mask. Basha's tough enough to stop as it is. Chandler's helping him out a little bit with the penalties. That's 2
during
face
the run,
masks.
incidental face mask. 5-yard penalty on the defense. Still first down.
Well, 3 penalties so far tonight on the Chandler Wolves, and we're not out of the first quarter yet. And we've done a lot of games. I've been a part of a lot of games. If you want to beat good football teams, you can't shoot yourself in the foot and make it harder on your team.
Phillips comes back in the game after taking the last play on the sidelines. Another flag.
False start. Offense. 5 yards. First down.
And the 2 teams trade penalties back to back. Well, this is the first real lull in the action, Adam. I feel like we haven't been able to catch our breath. Look at this. Basha's actually going to huddle up. This might be the only time we see that tonight. Bernie Buskin telling his team to play fast and doesn't look very happy about the penalty. So after the penalty in 1st and 10, they bring 3 from one side to the other like a covey of quail. And that might have thrown off the Wolves. His offsides on Chandler.
Well, that was the desired result. If you notice, you said it. The first time they huddled up, they rushed to the line, so Chandler thought that they were going to have a quick count. Then everybody motions at one time, and it draws Chandler offsides. That play was planned from the start.
And here we go again, and another penalty flag. What is going on? 4 straight penalties.
Mark, I don't understand. It just happened to you.
Encroachment.
Kismajagny. It just happened the play before. They did the same thing. They rushed to the line. 3 players got up in motion, and it was the same result. You have to be smarter than that. You have to be able to learn from what happened.
Well, it sets up a first down now. And 10, they can make a first down and not a touchdown. They give it to Hussar, who lost the football. And Chandler has it. Kismajagny atones for the penalty and picks up the loose football, and the Wolves take over on offense.
Big time stick by your middle linebacker. It's going to be tough to see on this angle. Francis Tuita. and he read this play perfectly and put a big-time blow to force that fumble. Unbelievable job of making a play when your defense needed it.
Sean Aguano talks about Tuita. They like to let him roam. Kind of play with his hair on fire. He's our runner. He can stick his nose up in there and make a big hit when he has to. His offense gets the ball back. They give it to Tarkington. Tarkington trying to bounce it outside. But Bryce Cole was waiting for him, and he goes backwards.
Mark, that's a play that Chandler desperately needed. This defense was on its heels after that first series where Basha went down the field and scored. It looked like they weren't going to be stopped again, but a big-time play by your linebacker, Francis Tuita, to give the Wolves some breathing room.
3 running backs now as that's Williams in motion. They try to hide him coming out of the backfield. Get a favorable matchup. They'll throw it to the right, and it's picked off. It's picked off by Basha, losing a shoe. Coming back the other way is Quentin Del Rey. And the two teams trade turnovers, and Basha back in business inside Chandler territory and inside the red zone.
Quentin Del Rey was playing cover 2. He acted like he was covering the flat, and he read Garrettson's eyes, sank back, and made the play. Chandler thought they were getting the matchup that they wanted with Javon Williams on his safety, but that's a great job of play recognition by your corner to shoot his gun, go up, and make a big play for your football team.
Safe to say he came out of his shoes on that one. And another penalty flag. And it looks like some movement up front for the Bears.
Offense. 5 yards. First down.
And we had such a good tempo to start this game. And with 4 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the first quarter, both coaches beside themselves with all these penalties.
Well, I tell you what's impressive, Mark. Both teams offensively came out right away, marched down the field, but now both defenses have both stepped up with big turnovers.
Duran looking to check at the line, and he wants to call a timeout. Not getting what he wants, and he'll walk to the sidelines and talk things over. Tied at 7. 4 minutes and 3 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and I thought we might have been on a record pace tonight. Two teams moving the ball down the field that quickly.
Well, it's not over yet. We still have 4 minutes in the first quarter, and Basha is knocking on the door to try and go in for their second score. This is one heck of a football game so far. Both offenses showing that they are very powerful and very elite. Both defenses have been on their heels twice tonight, and both defenses have tried to turn it around by giving the ball back to their offense. This is a back-and-forth heavyweight fight.
Well, penalties, 2 for 10 yards for Basha, 6 for 40 yards for Chandler, and then the turnover. And the Bears break the huddle. Just wanting to get on the same page. Duran told me he's not afraid to take a timeout. He has about 5 progressions, and if he doesn't get what he wants, they do want to talk things over. You notice everybody wearing a wristband on the Bear side of the field. Duran will fire. Corner of the end zone. Phillips goes up, and it's knocked away. Coverage over there by number 26. And let's take a look at that replay.
Great job of reading the eyes and the hands of the wide receiver to go up and make the play. That is textbook technique by a defensive back who gets beat, has his back to the quarterback, and all he has is the eyes and the hands of the wide receiver to guide him. 2nd and
15 across the middle, incomplete. They're looking for Phillips again. Tyler Holmes over there on coverage, and we're going to have to figure out who 26 is. I think they changed jerseys on us because there's no number 26 on the roster.
Somebody better check some ID. Chandler Wolves are trying to get an advantage.
Well, I know they need to retire 29-year-old number there, Adam. We might have to see some video later on in the broadcast of your playing days there. A safety and a running back, and the secondary being put to the test tonight for the Wolves. On a 3rd down and 15, they will drop it off for Hussar. He's got a lane. Big hit by Perkins. And then Zach Camilla's in the game. The offensive lineman came over the top and finished him off.
just a simple swing pass where they're trying to get Hussar the ball, and he gets a full head of steam, goes downhill, but that's a physical tackling by the Chandler Wolves.
So a 4th down and 6, and Basha will have to attempt a field goal. Justin Barber, the left-footed kicker, since it's from the left hash mark. Ricky Carrillo, the right-footed kicker, kicks from the right hash mark. It's up, and it's good, and it's 10-7 Basha with 3:05 to play in the first quarter. 25-yard field goal for number 25.
Well, you have to tip your hat to the Wolves defense. Twice, the Bears were in the red zone. The first time, their defense got the ball back to their offense, and the second time, they forced the field goal. So great job of getting off the field when you're in terrible field position.
So the Chandler Wolves unscored upon prior to tonight. Now have given up 10 points in the first quarter, but a big stand right there, keeping Basha out of the end zone and at least some momentum in that regard.
Well, that was huge. They had to come out of that and not allow Basha to go in for the 7 points. And for a defense to do that not once but twice is really a nice job. But this Basha offense is impressive. They're very, very fast. Quarterback-wise, Kyle Durant is distributing the football very, very well. And they're getting some big-time playmaking from their wide receiver, number 1, Nate Phillips.
So Sean Aguano sends his receiving team back out on the field. There's LaRon Tarkington. And we have confirmation on who 26 is. It's actually DJ Frazier, the starting cornerback. He actually wears, get this, 29.
Wears number 29, maybe.
No number 29 tonight.
Wonder if that was planned.
Sean, get Jody Jackson on that down there.
We need some investigative reporting going on right now.
4 plays, 80 yards on the drive. Basha will kick it deep. And this is way deep. Great kick by number 8, Ricky Carrillo, the right-footed kicker. So the left-footed kicker hits the field goal, and the right-footed kicker puts one through the end zone for the touchback.
Well, that's pretty fancy. That's fancy when you have specialty kickers on your roster, left-footed and right-footed. That's actually a first for me, Mark.
Never seen that in all your years.
Never seen it.
Well, you were the punter back in your Chandler days, weren't you?
Yep, had a great leg.
48-minute man. We discussed that at halftime. Yeah, what didn't you do in high school? Did you drive the team bus to the games?
I tried to, but they didn't let me.
No. Just handed you the football out of the wishbone back then?
A wise man once told me at a young age, the more you can do, son, the better chance they're going to keep you around. So never say no. Always volunteer and do it with a smile.
Former Chandler Wolf Adam Archuleta, some words of wisdom. They'll give it to Perkins on first down, and met by a gang of black shirts and green helmets. Number 18, Bryce Cole, got there first for the Bears, his second big tackle on the night.
Disciplined football. Paul Perkins tries to bounce it to the outside, and just for a second, you started to think that maybe he would turn the corner, but your middle linebacker, number 31, Garrett Kaiser, did a good job of staying home, doing his assignment.
They'll bring Tarkington in motion now. Garrett's going to roll to his right. Pressure, he's going to put it up looking for Lloyd Mills, and it's incomplete, thrown into the sidelines. And so far, Basha doing a heck of a job on all the weapons for Chandler, specifically Javon Williams.
Well, Chandler and Coach Iguano, they have to start calling a little bit different game. They have to try and settle down Daryl Garrettson, because he's been throwing some underthrown balls. He hasn't really been accurate tonight. They have to find a way for him to get the ball in his receiver's hands and start to get some sort of a rhythm.
3rd down and 10 now. Chandler brings 4 wide receivers into the game. Mills comes in from the top of your screen with a message for Garrettson. Out of the gun, he'll look to his right. He's going to fire, and Mills couldn't hang on. Whatever they were discussing pre-snap was not there, and Chandler will have to kick it away.
Well, even if Mills was able to catch this ball, it probably wouldn't have gone anywhere because it was just a check down. They are trying to get the ball downfield to Javon Williams. I have to tip my hat to the Bears defense tonight, because so far they have been winning the chess battle between Chandler's passing attack and Javon Williams.
Eddie Wilcox will kick it away. Nate Phillips the dangerous Nate Phillips to return it for Basha. Wilcox, long stride, end-over-end kick, hits it midfield, and will take a Wolf bounce. And we'll be down to the 32-yard line by Devin Centers. Kick of 48 yards, something Adam Archuleta would be proud of. What was your longest punt in high school?
Well, they wouldn't let me punt. I was our best punter, but they wanted to give me a break, so they said, you know what, this is your chance to rest. But every game in warm-ups, I always went out and punted just in case they called my number.
And you can hear a conversation with Adam Archuleta at halftime, going back to his days at Chandler High. Still a long way to go, and thinking we're going to see some entertaining football before that. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Basha back to work on offense, leading 10-7. That's Keenan Garland in motion. Durant under pressure, fires across the middle. It's wide open, and it's caught by Adrian Cordova. And a first down inside Chandler territory.
Kyle Durant has been on the money. Virtually no threat of a pass rush. Waits for his wide receiver Cordova to clear the middle and puts it right in the numbers.
Gain of 23 on the play. Back to work quickly for Basha across the middle again, and here goes Phillips. And Phillips has a catch out past the 30 and another first down in the middle of the field. It's wide open right now.
Coach Buskin was really raving about his quarterback. He really feels like he has a gem. He's been a 70% passer. The knock on him is that he's not 6'4", but he has really done a great job this season.
Duran back to work through the air. Got a good block from Smith. Throws low, and it's incomplete. Looking for Deontay Sykes, and back to Duran. Not many colleges are on him, but I think this young man could play next year on Saturdays.
He's been throwing a nice ball. He's been making great decisions. He's got great arm strength. You know, right now, Chandler, they like to play a lot of zone defense, but right now, Durant is finding the zone. Look for him to try and switch it up and start playing a little bit more man.
Another penalty.
Snap. False start offense. 5 yards. Second down.
And that'll back up Durant and company. It looked like the false start was a good thing because Durant never got the ball to Smith, and that could have been disastrous with the offensive line. Somebody up there knew they had messed up and didn't block anybody. You see, everybody has a wristband for the Basha Bears. They call out a number and a color and go. That sets their blocking assignments and gives Durant five reads. They reset the clock, and another penalty. And it looks like another false start.
Before the ball snap, false start offense. 5 yards, second down.
So the fourth penalty on the night right now for Basha, backing up after two really high-energy plays. And it looks like Durant wants to burn their second timeout of the half with 1:44 to go in the first quarter to talk things over. And an interesting move right there to get on the same page.
Well, this offense is high-speed, high-flying offense. Just got out of sync right there with the two penalties, and now having to try and reconvene and try and get their feet under themselves. You know, Mark, as we talk about this fast-tempo attack that Basha likes to run, it's paramount that if this is the offensive philosophy that you want to go with as a head coach, you have to have a quarterback that can complete the football. Because if you're getting up to the line of scrimmage and snapping the ball with a lot of time on the clock and you're throwing incomplete passes, your defense is going to be on the field all night long. So it goes hand in hand to have a quarterback that can make the decisions and furthermore put the ball where it needs to be so some of that clock gets chewed up.
Well, Bernie Buskin knows a thing or two about quarterbacks, knows a thing or two about coaching high school football and state championships. He was at Mountain View throughout the 90s, won 40 straight games. That was a streak just broken by Chandler Hamilton. A controversial exit for Buskin. You can read about that on the internet, but he's back here at Chandler and really put together quite the program, and on a second down and long, they run it to Smith, and Smith runs right up the middle, and he runs into that defensive wall led by Jangy, it appears. But Buskin, the three state championships in his second year out here, and really kind of a gem of a program out here, way out here in Southeast Chandler. On the 3rd and 17, Duran flushed. He's going to have to step up. He's going to throw it across the middle. A catch made by Phillips. And Phillips is across the 25 to the 22, 21 yard line, and that sets up 4th down.
It was a heck of a job by both Duran and Phillips. First of all, for Duran to get away from the pressure, buy some time with Phillips. Put a move, a little pivot route where he faked like he was going in and then returned to the sideline. I tell you what, I've covered a lot of good wide receivers in my day. I don't know if I'd want to be on that field right now trying to guard Nate Phillips man-to-man.
Justin Barber, the left-footed kicker, in to attempt it from the 29-yard line. A low-line drive. It's up, and it's good. And Basha leads 13-7, 39-yard field goal for the Bears, who have to feel good about having the lead. But once again, when Chandler's defense needed to rise up, they did and held the Bears to a field goal. Penalties, though, had a lot to do with that.
Well, they've done a great job in red zone defense tonight, but the Basha offense seems to have the Chandler defense has their number tonight. They are calling a great game, really keeping them on their heels, mixing in the running game with the passing game. But the combination of Kyle Durant to Nate Phillips has proven to be a little bit too much for Chandler to deal with so far.
.27 seconds to play in the first quarter. And a good crowd on hand. They brought in some extra bleachers for the Chandler folks who have made their way in late. This place is packed. There were fans on the Basha side sitting in their seats before 5 o'clock local time. We talked about that. And that just kind of shows what Bernie Buskin has built out. There's a lot of pride in this program.
There sure is. And you talked about what Bernie Buskin was able to do with Mountain View. And it tells you how much high school football has changed. That was a great Mountain View team. And I played. That was during my era. But they didn't have the athletes that they've been able to assemble out here at Basha. It was a completely different philosophy and team. But the athletes and the speed that they have out here is truly impressive.
Goes over Lloyd Mills' head into the end zone. And it looks like another penalty flag on the play. Tell you what, someone needs to clean these windows up here. It's a little murky. But a beautiful night for football. And it's coming back for Chandler. Backed up against their own goal line after a personal foul. You clean windows too, don't you?
I did.
After the play had ended, personal foul. White, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Take a look on the left side of the screen over there. You get a little bit of a no-look shot.
The special teamers are sitting on the sidelines. It's their chance to get in the game, looking to hit somebody. And a hit after the play. So backed up now to their own 10-yard line. Garrettson goes back to work out of the shotgun. He'll hand it to Perkins, coming to his right. And he's met by number 31, Garrett Kaiser, and dropped after a gain of 3, maybe 4. And that might be the last play of the first quarter. Let's see if Chandler gets one more off. Garrettson looking to the sidelines, and Chandler will not get a play off. They'll have to walk the length of the field on a 2nd down and 8. A fast and furious first quarter here in Chandler. It's the home team, the Basha Bears, averaging 57 points a game with 13. And the Chandler Wolves with 7 as we head to the second quarter.